Retrospective. Titans Return.
It's been out for 3 weeks. Welcome to another episode of NERDOUT! This is sort of, we're jumping a gun. I'm sort of on a Titans Return retrospective already. It's been out for like 3 weeks.
And we're bored with it already.
No. Well, the thing is, we still haven't found Scourge.
Which is heartbreaking.
That sucks, yeah.
We have put our fucking time in on that.
Man, no
shit. Like, I hit every Toys R Us this week twice.
Yeah.
Walmart, Targets. Wanted it.
Yeah.
But, like, I know. Was on the prowl.
You know why? It's because people out there are army building this
Bastards.
fucker. I know. And I get it. You want your 6 Scourges or whatever. That's cool. But we need a Scourge, dude. We need one. So leave one on the shelf for us. And also, we don't have Fort Max yet. We didn't order it. I think Big Bad Toy Store is getting them right now. The reason I didn't reorder it yet is because I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm considering bringing the exclusive back if it's.
How would you get it?
I'd have to
ship it.
I'd have to ship it back, or I'd have to bring luggage for it. So I'm really not sure about that, but I do want Fort Max. It's just if I walked into Toys R Us or Target and I saw it, we would have it, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think I'm just gonna wait till Warp 9 gets it.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I like those guys a lot.
Yeah, no, they're very good. Yeah, you're right, and their prices are good. We did reviews of all these already, except for we did not do Sentinel Prime.
And why did we not?
We didn't do Sentinel Prime. I don't know if he quite justifies a full review on his.
No, he doesn't, because he's a repaint of a bad figure in the first place, and I don't have the bad figure.
Right. So you're making a prejudgment.
Somehow that's supposed to be Astro Train.
Yeah,
and I mean, I get it. He turns into the thing in another thing, so he's a triple changer, but. He doesn't turn into a shuttle that looks like a space shuttle, and he doesn't turn into a train that looks like a train. Like, he just doesn't.
He doesn't look too bad to me. The problem is he looks so boring. He has no presence. Yeah. If they didn't make him orange and yellow, you would never even notice him.
Yeah, and I mean, he's probably better as Sentinel Prime than he is as Astro.
You think so? You think he's going to be?
Because he's not offensive. Like, he could just be his own thing. But trying to tell me this is Astro Train is offensive.
But you're going to get the Astro Train.
Of course, yeah. I'll get it. But it's like, if they make Galvatron look like Galvatron, minus the head, but don't make fun of the Galva helmet. You could still tell with
it's Galvatron.
You would never guess this is Astro Train. I mean, it just...
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll see what the paint does, but... Again, I don't think the Sentinel Prime is necessarily bad. It's really plain. Really just no character. And the other ones we didn't review... is the Legends class figures. I get the Wheelie and the Rewind, and I'm going to start with Rewind. I actually like the little fella, and I found out that he's got an extra tank mode, and I didn't know that. And it's pretty cool. He's fine, but he doesn't really warrant a review on his own. And then Wheelie, I think we could probably spend 10 minutes on Wheelie, because Wheelie looks awesome.
In one mode.
His car mode looks good, but there is no way to hold that fucker together. No way. There's no way. That was really bad decision.
I tried for 10 minutes trying to get him just to... Nope. Yeah. Whenever you moved him, he'd fall apart.
You're going to pop a blood vessel trying to get that thing to hold. It just doesn't... It's just a bad decision. So, again, those didn't really warrant a review on its own, or I guess we could have, but, I just... didn't know that we wanted to spend 10 minutes talking about Wheelie. Can I say something about Legends, though?
Be my guest.
$10.29 a piece here in the good old USA. That doesn't include tax. I think that's stretching it.
It is, but, I mean, it's not any more or less plastic than a Star Wars figure. I mean, everything's a ripoff. I mean, I guess I hear you. Yeah, it should be a $5 toy.
$7 with this inflated market. It feels like $7, to me. And I'm talking about, that's not like, I'm an old man, I used to pay $4 for this toy. I'm saying, in today's market, it feels like a $7 toy.
I'll give you that.
Maybe pushing $8 if you're really inflating the price. But $10.29 just doesn't. It's a cool little toy. I just don't see $10.29.
I wonder if it's they have to charge that much to make it worth it.
To make it worth it in what sense?
To make it worth it for them to sell it. I mean, because it's I get it.
So you think they shouldn't even bother making it? Well, the thing is...
I don't know. I mean, in some way, if I were them, they're like, well, listen, if we can't squeeze $10 out of this, it's not worth us making it.
Maybe you're right.
I think it's that type of thing, and I mean... Because the whole thing is, these don't feel inflated. Or none of these.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't think they felt I was completely happy paying.
But isn't like, okay, action figures today is much different than action figures in the 80s. Action figures in the 80s, other than like a little segment of video games, like they were the boys' toys department. Like that's what you were into. Action figures.
This is a specialty item.
Today is a specialty item. Kids don't play with action figures. However, I think of them as a shut me up toy. So like when your mom is going to Target and she knows she has to shut you up, she buys a little toy to shut you up. And I think those
1 hour minimum wage.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think $10.29 for that as a shut me up item, too much. $7, I'll shut my kids up all the time for $7 on that, which is ridiculous still, man.
Do you think these are shut me up toys, or do you think these are specialty adult toys? No, I mean I know they're not adult.
I think it's in a weird place right now.
Like who are they making these for?
I think it's a really weird. I think that's a good question, and I don't know that I have the true answer for them. I think kids still play with Transformers, but these are not the movie characters.
Yeah.
These aren't supported by a cartoon. They look like characters from my childhood, which is so long ago.
I feel like your kids would play with these, or like dad has to be into this for a kid to be into it, or something. I don't think a kid is just gonna gravitate towards this on their own without a parent who's into it.
So you think a kid goes down the action figure aisle and they see
that looks
Batman,
like dad shit.
They see it looks like dad's toys.
Yeah.
You see Batman, you see Superman, you see Spider-Man, you see wrestling, you see Minecraft shit, and then you see these. Which kid is picking these? Is there kids that are like, I want this one. This is catch
kids.
my eye.
I think the nerdy kids, like the kids we'd like.
I think so.
But let's
like little versions of Brian and Ray.
Yeah. You know.
I think you're right. It's not quite like I think there's enough people to kids to buy this that they can make it sort of a mainstream line. But I do think that a lot of it is fueled by collectors. But
or even parents. Like
you think parents go in and say, "Hey, I think my kid would like this." Maybe.
Or they'll look at him like, oh, I hope my kid likes this because I like it. Like I'll bet there's those parents that are like on the fence. They're not toy collector, but they're like, wow, that's really cool.
The perfect example of something like that, and I mean to cut you off, but it's a good story. Like when we were kids, Nintendo was the hottest thing. Check it out. So there's Nintendo, and they were sold out everywhere. Like you could not find a Nintendo. And my parents were looking for one for my brother's birthday, or it was Hanukkah or whatever, and it was between. They were all out of Nintendo, and they said, look, we can't find a Nintendo. But there's a Sega Master System and an Atari XE. If you don't know what the Atari XE was, it was like an intense Atari with a keyboard. It was sort of like a mini computer, and it was priced at the same time. They said, which one do you want? And we didn't know. We didn't really know. We wanted Nintendo, but they said, you're only going to get one of these. So they picked the Atari XE. They made the wrong choice. Because Sega was at least competitive.
Sega was number 2.
Yeah, it was number 2.
And then it beat it right after with the Sega Genesis.
Right. But that was like next gen.
Yeah, they went back and forth so many times.
But the point of the stories is our parents picked which one they thought was cooler.
Yep.
And they were wrong. They were just flat out wrong. So, maybe you're right. Maybe this is a toy line that I go in the collapse. But we're gonna sort of we've reviewed all these. This is the new Transformer line, and I think overall, other than Galvatron's head and a couple little issues,
strong line. Yeah.
And I think there's a future. How deep are they gonna go with this though? Is it gonna be pretty much like Combiner Wars, or is it gonna go deeper? Because the thing is with Combiner Wars is they were so confined to this one structure that they couldn't really take it much farther. This is a little less confined. I think.
I think in some ways it's even more confined.
How so?
Well, because you get like Combiner Wars. It gets you can exponentially make up more stuff just by swapping figures that already exist, but in different combinations and repacking them. Like, you know what I mean?
But don't you think the consumers?
They catch on to it.
They exhausted to it. Yeah. It's like, oh, here's another repaint.
Well, what are they going to do with this 3 times?
Well, the thing is you can create any character, for example, Blaster, and do a headmaster, and you can still provide a nice looking Blaster and still have the Titans feature. Yep. So they could take it a little bit further.
Well, I think they could do a lot. I mean, they could make him 2 other guys. He's going to be Soundwave.
Yeah, which I have no interest in that.
And then what's the other guy he gave?
Twin cast?
Twin cast.
You think they'll make twin cast?
I think they should make twin cast first.
Twin cast would be more of an exclusive though. Like I would never pay another $50 for a twin cast, but there's a lot of people out there that would, and I understand it's that.
And why don't you want the Soundwave?
One, because I think I have the Masterpiece Soundwave, which I find that to be perfectly satisfying, and also I've seen pictures of the Soundwave. And it wasn't that it was like ugly, but
it's chunky. It
was chunky. Like I have the Masterpiece. I'm totally good. My Soundwave is covered for life.
I'm surprised they didn't release Soundwave first.
Oh yeah,
because I think he's going to be more popular.
I
because you can tell the character's made.
I think you're right. Plus people have the option of a Masterpiece Soundwave. Where Blaster, like honestly, this is probably the best Blaster you're going to get unless you're going into the third party round.
And I'm good with it.
Me too.
I mean, I'm
totally satisfied.
Like this is enough to keep me from the Keith's Fantasy Club.
Yeah.
And I like the Keith's Fantasy Club. It's just I'm not into Blaster.
Right. I mean, how much do you want a Blaster? I think Blaster is the. I think that's the high point of this line so far. But I think the deluxes are definitely like very fitting, really work well.
Yeah, they're new. Like, yeah, I mean because Hardhead and Blur are awesome.
Yes, and we don't know about Scourge yet because we can't find one.
Yeah, even Crogzilla is pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, his loosey goosey joints.
But I think his alt mode is awesome.
Yeah,
like I leave him in.
You like the alt mode?
I know, and I know that's off for me. I don't like animals.
You don't like animals.
But I like him a lot. Like I like a Croc. He's got. Man, I could almost get into. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, just wait till Beast Wars comes out.
I know. That's right. I was about to say
Hell
it.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait because they're gonna be awesome. The only thing else I really... Oh, you know when this line stops? This line stops when the new movie toys come out. Yeah. Man, I'm sorry.
Do we have any idea when the Hot Rod's coming out?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That should be out probably around the holidays.
I'm very excited.
Are you really? Why?
I like Hot Rod.
I like Hot Rod too,
I mean,
but
I don't know.
Do you not, again...
I like this line. I want new molds.
Yeah, me too.
I just want... I
like the line too.
I love this line. You know?
It's kind of disappointing that we have like Scourge, and then we have
nothing.
Fort Max.
Fort Max.
And then we probably don't have anything for at least a good 3 months, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's too bad, but we did go a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean we went nuts on this.
Yeah,
it was. We were sick for a little bit.
Oh yeah, it was great. It's good to go out there and hunt for new Transformers and get new Transformers. So Titan Wars. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up overall.
Me too. Yeah, I dig it.
Okay. Well, that's our little Titan War retrospective, I guess. Please subscribe, please like, please tell your friends. Until next time, nerd out! That's not real. Is that really the plane?
Maybe it goes like that. Yeah, I think it's a train.
Dude, that's unacceptable.